Hey guys, BlackCross here, and welcome to a new segment of the PlayStation 2 Legacy. So, today's game that we're going to start off with the new season, I figure we dive into a particular game. However though, normally I would be as shocked and surprised as I normally would be. However though, we had some technical difficulty involving the recording itself. The audio just was not syncing up right and stuff, so with that being said, we're gonna have to fix it up somehow. However though, as I was playing it, I realized this was probably one of the weirdest games I've probably ever played. And there might be more on the way. So, what game are we playing? Well, that's simple, really. Killer 7. Now, for some of you, Killer 7 sounds vaguely familiar, and it should be, because it was actually one of the games that Suda51 developed before he went on to develop stuff like No More Heroes. So, Killer 7, how is it, and is it interesting enough for most people to dive into it? And I'm going to tell you right now, this one's weird. So, let's hop into it, and I'll show you what I mean. This game contains mature subjects. Thank goodness it finally stopped. If that's how you start off the game, you know it's going to get weird. If not creepy. So here we are, we're in a very, very creepy feeling title screen. And this is how it starts off, okay? This is how it technically starts. It's Killer 7, and it's got like blood dripping on the start button thing, and when you select something you hear that laugh, so automatically it should automatically tell you how creepy things are going to get. Now the weird thing is that this features two modes, normal and deadly, and you can tell by the music things doesn't sound right. It's like the music beat for like a horror themed game, you know? You have the normal hallway where you're just kind of going through stuff. And then there's the music when you feel like you're about to be chased after by someone deadly. It's very weird. Not only that, but it's also what it tells you. Like, normal mode says, helpful hints and other features make the game proceed relatively smoothly. And then deadly mode. In addition to limitations on hits, except some extreme... apparently English is not me today. Expect some extreme combat. So, I mean, deadly is deadly, but normal, obviously, is a choice. Now, of course, this is just menu stuff, okay? This is just menu. Once we get into the actual game, is when we actually start to get freaky. Like, okay, see this? You move the reticle. And I don't know if it actually does anything, or if it does, I am beyond knowing it. Because, like, yeah, there's some spots where more red reticules are in the sight line and stuff. And it really doesn't matter, I don't think. If it does, then I'm sure someone will let me know, but I don't think it does anything, so... And like I said, we're about to get into some weird stuff here in a little bit, so be warned. You have your obvious character introductions. And then you have a stranger walking by and stuff like that. obviously a hit is being assigned right now. As you can probably imagine, this is involving assassins. But it gets even more interesting, so when we start the game, I will explain in deep detail. Now, normally I would actually serve the control, but since I've already tried playing this some time ago, I'm already familiar with it, so we're going to go ahead and select no. And I'm going to try to explain the game a little bit at a time, because this one is weird. Okay, it's weird. So, the way you move your character is not by any normal means. You just go forward. And that's it. You just move forward. If you're wanting to turn around, you press the triangle button or the back button, and it turns the character around. And then you press the up button to go forward. As you go through the game, you will actually pick directions in order to progress in the area.
I don't want to go any further. It's dangerous. My friends are all dead. They were all murdered by people that look like this. I have been chosen.
Yeah, different.
Shit. There's more than 14. Those bastards are breathing.
Now you probably noticed too that we went from one character and now we're in a different character entirely. This will be explained in a little bit, but first things first, another weird character is this. I'm not even going to bother try to pronounce that, but he's also weird. Now, that thing right there is supposedly like the tutorial guide. He tells you what you need to know and how to do things and stuff. And obviously Harriman's room is basically the area where you can actually save and all that stuff. As well as look at like previous details, as well as like character information and stuff. But Samantha's the only one that can actually save your progress. And I'm mentioning this right now because there'll be times that you will find another person entirely, and she doesn't do anything. Or if she does, it's further in the game. But Samantha's the only one that can save your progress. Now, if you've noticed, there's also a TV. The TV does two things. One of them is either between selecting characters and giving blood. And these bloods does where it's like serum or strim. I don't know how. For some reason the spelling's a little bit weird. It looks like SERUM. But I guess that's like abbreviation for serum, whatever. Either way, you can give out blood, and basically what it does, it gives you points in order to upgrade your characters. Thus the term characters. You have different characters that you can select from. Now, of course, there'll be more later on, because there's like one other one. Well, you can't really see him. It's like Mass D. Smith. But as you can see, it's weird of how this is. But this is where it gets weird. Okay, it gets weird. Note what he says. Okay, he can technically fight, but that's not his specialty. And I'll explain that in just a sec. But you can pick between characters through this menu. But that's not your only option. Now, of course, like I said, if you want to go back, you either hit the down button or the triangle button. Like I said, it's weird because you're not moving freely, you're moving in a direction. It's sort of like that of a, I suppose you can call it like a RPG point-and-click adventure, if you will. Now, I may be giving it too much credit by just saying that, but still to a point. Now, how weird is this game? Let me just run forward. You see something moving in the shadows? Clearly you saw that there was something there, but if it's in that mode, you can't technically shoot them. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how do you shoot them? I will show you in just a moment. You switch between this. They are cleverly, I wouldn't say cleverly, but they're in a different realm in which you have to switch over. When you switch over, you can actually see them better. Now, you can just shoot them out just flat out, because it's infinite ammo. As you can clearly see, you can just reload infinitely, you can shoot infinitely, and so on and so forth. But, if you want to get more for your buck, and this is the part where the currency comes in thing, you can shoot their limbs and retrieve blood points for them. More blood, rather. I'll explain that even more detail. There's also another character by the name of Travis, and he's also kind of weird. Now, things will get weird as we continue on, of course. But here's where it gets even more weirder. I'm going to die on purpose, and you will see why. But you see how this is weird, right? Okay, there. I died right there. Now, here's the thing. It's not game over yet. Watch what happens. I mean, that's weird on its own, but that's not the weird part. You can select him. And what is his purpose? Well, like he said before, he's a cleaner. Which means he goes out and cleans up the mess that your previous character made. Now you see where the corpse is? So basically you're supposed to retrieve the corpse in question. Now of course he can't do much damage on his own, which is why you would want to keep your other characters alive as long as possible, because his job is just to retrieve your remains. Once he does, you go back to the TV to where you can revive and then proceed through the main game. This is a weird early adaptation of Dark Souls, if you will. But you see what I mean? is a weird, early, Dark Souls type thing where you die and you go back to retrieve your lost possessions. You know, in Bloodborne it was blood echoes, in Dark Souls it was souls. In this game, it's your other body that died. And you have to retrieve it, because here's the thing. When that person dies, you can't select another character. It has to be the cleaner, because the cleaner can't do anything. These guys, however, can. And there's a multitude of them. But we'll go through him first, just to kind of show you what he can do, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you can select the different characters. And you don't have to just do it on the TV. You can do it while in the middle of the field. Now you see that? That is basically how you gather blood. And note where it says you need more blood. Well, you gotta keep gathering it until you can use a special ability. We got one build up, but we have to have 3 in order to use his ability. So it's a matter of keep building up until and of course the last thing you want them to do is get up close, because they'll just blow up right in front of your face. Like I said, you've got infinite ammo, so you don't have to worry about wasting it, but your main goal is to gather a lot more blood. It's not easy either. You know, you have to aim specifically at parts of the body. And of course, my aiming is absolute shit. So I usually just end up killing them before they can get to me. Which is the longer way of gathering blood. You have to specifically target certain things in order to get more, rather. And this one is right in his face. There we go. There we go. He's got 3 now. Now, here's what we do. That's a charge shot. But we cleared the way. Of course, we need to talk to Travis for something. Now that was the only reason why we had to go over there. So now we're making our way into the next exceeding area. And this is the part where the game finally kicks in, to where you just do whatever you want, or however way you want to do it, rather. And we will explore the game indefinitely. Of course, you gotta be careful, or otherwise they'll just blow up right in front of your face. And this is kind of an interesting, I suppose you could say, Resident Evil style, because as you're exploring the building, you have to find stuff in order to get around areas. Like, you'll find shortcuts and everything of that nature, so on and so forth. And you're knowing that I'm skipping most of the floating guys' subjects and stuff, but that's mostly because I know what I need to do and everything. Trust me, it took me forever to figure out what I needed to do and how to do stuff. That creeped me out right there. Yeah, people blow up. People just blow up. Now here's another Harriman's room, and you'll see the other person that I was talking about. See, that one right there. And the thing is, you can't talk to her nor interact with her. You have no idea who she is. So I have no idea what she is. But we'll go to the TV and I'll show you the whole blood syringe thing. Whatever it's called, technically. You see, we got 1 point. But we're going to use it on our main one right here. There we go, see? Now I'll be powering up him the entire time, but I will be selecting other characters in order to do certain objectives and stuff. Admittedly, it's hard to get used to the moving around the character thing, so you'll probably see me going back and forth multitude of times, in which case you'll have to see how he died in like 3 hits and the other one was like almost continuous shots, it seems. Yeah, powering it up helps out a lot, especially since later on you'll get more of them. So it's better just to kill them as fast as you can rather than save up and hit a specific point just to get more blood. You'll also get different characters along the way. Now, that flying thing, I'll show you another character. See how you can switch between in the field? You don't have to worry about doing it on the TV, so that helps out a lot. Her ability is mostly to zoom in on the characters. Her reload speed is slow, but for what she does in terms of being able to shoot something from a distance, it helps. And now that we took care of that, now of course there will be puzzles that you will have to achieve as you go further into the game. Like for example, this room right here also contains a puzzle. But unfortunately we don't have the item needed in order to achieve this puzzle. So we'll be back here later on. But first things first, I want to check on air conditioning, make certain that it's off. But yeah, like I said, we'll come back here later point and you'll see the different things that you can do. But first thing first, we gotta go through an area or two, or 50 of them. See what I mean of how there's like numbers of them? And it's not gonna matter. Now the good news is that technically speaking, even if you do get hit, you can technically heal yourself. It just requires blood. Numerous of bloods. So that's why you would want to shoot those points. Like I said, there's a series of stuff that you have to do in order to get from point A to point B to point infinity and stuff. So just bear with me and I will show you some more stuff that will help you along your way. Now you want to interact with certain stuff because that's how you explore around the area. Like for example, turning off the dryer, you'll get a certain item. But first, you gotta talk to a head. Now we'll need that fire ring for a couple of reasons. And you'll see why we need it. Now here's the thing. This one we're going to need to switch to another assassin. One that has a particular ability that we need. which is Coyote. And there's a reason why too on that, and you'll see in just a sec. Because we're going to encounter a lock. And he's the only one who can unlock these locks. So if you see that, you need to switch a character for one that specializes with that. And there's another character that specializes in unlocking another lock as well. When we get to that point, you'll see what I mean. But make certain you switch back to your powerful persona, so that way you can get better kills and stuff. Especially if he's strong enough to. Now if you notice, we circled back around. And you're realizing, why are we entering in that room again? Well, because of the fire ring, obviously. Alright then. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that opens up to a plate that you see right there. And we need that in order to open up the way. I'm surprised of how I was able to do that quickly. Actually thought I was gonna die. Whew. That was good shooting on my end. Ooh, Nelly. Like, obviously you get more blood if you just aim at the specific parts and stuff. But it's better just to kill him as fast as you can. Now, of course, we needed the fire ring in order to turn on the sprinkler so that way we can use the toilet. And the reason is because there's another plate we needed from a pipe, which was right in the laundry room. See? So now we gotta go back and get it. Now, of course, you can interact with the characters and they'll give you hints and stuff of how to solve the puzzle and everything like that. But since technically I already solved the puzzle, I already know how I need to do it. And we got the plate now. So now we can turn around and head to where we need to head. Alright, we're fixing to approach what we need to do. And which is this control box here. And that's what we needed. We needed those two embroiderments in order to open up the way. Now, I'm going to switch a character to this guy. And you'll find out why. It blows them to smithereens. But sadly, this is a one-shot guy. So as soon as he shoots, he has to reload. I highly not recommend using him unless you absolutely need him. Like, if you want to take care of a target real quickly, he's your man. He's also good when it comes to breaking barriers like this. Now this is the part where we're going to need the secondary character for. Because Damask cannot help. But Kaede can. She can break down this type of barrier with her other ability as well. Just press square and weird shit happens. See what I mean by weird shit happens? Now here's the reason why you need those bullet shells, is for the gatekeeper, and why you need to open up areas and stuff and explore. So I imagine as you progress in different areas and the levels and stuff, you have to collect those things in order to get to where you need to be at. So just keep in mind whenever exploring the next area and stuff, you have to find those in order to progress further on. Now this is scary right here. Like I said, he just will not die. Like encountering that thing was like encountering one of those invincibles. The ones where you have to shoot them at specific points with the thermal laser. That's a scary ass thought. Now this is where things starts to get strange, as you will find out. Note how we switch back to the cleaner. Technically we're not doing anything. Now note how we were the cleaner and we change into someone completely different. See how weird this game is? But here's what's even weirder.
Please, be careful, sir.
Now note the name. Harriman Smith. But she's not dead. This is where the boss fight actually begins. Now this is why we want to switch to Kayete, because she can zoom into it. I imagine using any one of them would be fine, but if you want to hit one of their faces, as it gets even more and more difficult. Oh crap. There's one. I mean, this is how the boss fight is. You let them attack and then try to run behind them. Or at least that's what I assume all the bosses are. There you go. And we're back to being the old man. And so there's actually a point to the story. So here's what I'm thinking. The old man is an assassin of assassins. here's what I mean whenever I say that. Because his name is Harriman Smith. When you talk to that floating thing, he says, in the name of Harriman. That's him. Now here's where the weird part is. The other 7 people are people he killed because they were killers themselves. In other words, when he kills someone, he attains their personality or persona, as you will. In other words, this guy has multiple personality disorder. Which is more freaked out as it is! But not as freaked out as you see here. You think the main target is her, but actually, it's him.
Oops. I guess my trick didn't work on you.
Now you think this is just a boss fight, but in reality it just plays as a story. Because of the fact that you don't move. You just aim for the hand. See what I mean by weird? But that is going to be it for this episode. I know it was kind of weird seeing this transition of me explaining how the game is and stuff like that, but like I said, I tried to play it, and we had some difficulty with the recording and stuff, so this is actually the second time going through it, and with me knowing what was going on and stuff. So, you didn't get to see my reaction of what was weird, but you did get to see how things are and stuff, so hopefully you enjoy this episode nonetheless, and hopefully in the next one we will get a more interesting playthrough. This one, while on the one hand it is weird, okay, it is weird, but it's still a fun game. I highly recommend it. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. This is BlackCross signing off. Catch you guys later.